As a man who's been through a lot, you get to a point in your life where you just don't want any more violence. You don't want any more hatred. You just don't want any more of anything. I just want to go back to a place where people love each other again. Spent yesterday crying in this forest. Why even care what people think anymore? A man can have a badly broken heart because he has a heart. I'd like to post the video that I did, which was a longer video, and I know people like those. So I don't know why people do things to each other that they do. I really just don't understand. I had some friends help out last night that I was just blown away by the love and the care. And as of right now, these are the only people that I want to know when this is done and over with, because they were the ones who showed that they truly cared. And it wasn't just what they did for me. These are people that in my opinion, these are outstanding individuals that have done some incredible things for other people that they probably don't even realize just meant so much. And sometimes it's the person being given to that, as somebody said to me recently, that they don't even realize it. They can't see how much you've done for them. I mean, these videos that I've been doing over the last years have been expert teaching videos, like literally seeing what this place really is. And, you know, between that and all the self-defense info that I put out that I had to earn and learn on my own, and all the other health advice I put out that I can prove works, building skills, sharing art. I did a lot. Thankfully, I got a great friend in my life who just reminded me of that last night after they... Sometimes all you need is the right person in your life, and it just helps you see straight. So I'm thankful for that. I see a lost, and I see a dying, and I see a broken world that can't be fixed without love. And I know that we're not even close to that, but some people, they are that love. And personally, I mean, feel free to have your own opinion. Whoever you are, I care about you, even if you hate my guts. And I'm sorry for the pain that you've been in. I'm actually very sorry, because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be an artist who's just never acknowledged, and not truly acknowledged, and to have all these ideas and to have all this incredible art, and hardly have anybody to share it with. They don't see all the hours that you put in. They don't see the sleepless nights. They don't see all the other work that you do that you don't get paid for. And it's just so wrong. I used to make my videos stomping through the woods yelling, and all of this has turned to a quiet calm. It's not a side of myself that I show very often. There's a lot of things I haven't told people. There's a lot of things I know about myself and others on, you could say, the other side that I don't share, because it's like, why? There's always going to be people that try to jump down your throat and ridicule you and put words in your mouth, and you just wish those people well, because you remember what it was like to feel the way that they do. The anger, the hatred, a lot of it is jealousy, and I realize even that can be a trigger word. You remember what it was like to look at somebody And I still go through this and just say, like, what is wrong with me? It just seems like everybody else got the instruction manual and I didn't. And you just feel like you don't belong anywhere. You start to accept that, at least in this life, you'll never be in a romantic relationship again, most likely. You can't figure out why, even though you're so kind to people and you're so strong and you're unbelievably talented compared to most people. And it's not even bragging, but it's just like, come on. I mean, the real reality is, like, if people don't see how wrong this is by now, I mean, it is a completely backwards world. And I can tell you, as somebody with experience of the other side, and quite a lot of it, it doesn't work anything like this. I want to post a video that I did yesterday because I don't know which one is going to be the last. I don't want to be here anymore. I already decided on self-exit a long time ago, but now it's going to be soon. And I'm just trying to get everything finished up. I know that anybody who tries to push me on that and say, oh, see, you said you were going to do this a couple years ago, and you said you were going to, you know what, dude, I wish you well. I'm sorry for what you're going through. I'm sorry for all the pain people have caused you that turned you into to what you are today. All right, you can change. So do what I had to do. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Maybe go live on the street and see what people like me really go through. Maybe you already have. I just know that anybody who's done that is going to have an insane amount of empathy. You know, and I also know, because Spirit tells me that my spirit and those who look after me, which everyone is going to find out is a real thing, that we do have guardian angels, so to speak. And they're no pushovers either. They're people like me that have been through it. Really been through it. And then some. No friend or truly caring person would ever be trying to mock you and belittle you. They would never put out that energy. And energy never lies. Ever. If you're getting an off feeling from somebody, especially online, I'd like to credit this person for their advice over the years, because they were mostly right, but I'm going to leave them out of it. In case they don't want to be mentioned, I'm just going to choose to respect that. But they had said over and over again, block and delete. That's it. I had a hard time doing that, because I just see somebody who's going through the things that I used to go through, and with jealousy and hatred and anger and things like that, and I look at it as like, you know, one more try. I don't want to just give up on this person, because they're obviously going through something and they really hate me for whatever reason, and I can't imagine why that would be. Like, I didn't do anything to them. I'm going through something. Why is that an excuse for everybody else? But then, not that my name is actually Derek, that's my legal slave name in this world, but you know, you just, why are you expected to be perfect, but everybody else can just go have as much sex as they want, drink as much as they want, be as irresponsible as they want, drive their cars like fucking maniacs? I just felt like whenever I made a mistake, it was always everybody just, oh, there, you know, it was like there was no understanding, and that really hurt me growing up, and that really screwed me up growing up. But it was what I did with it that made all the difference, and this is the case for everybody. It's what you do with it. You can turn into that deranged psychopath and, you know, go on a killing spree. I wouldn't recommend it. I think that's a really horrible idea. But obviously people do it, and I kind of don't even blame them. Like, people that have shot up places and schools, it's like, I've seen how horrible people can be. And I'm sorry for all the people in, like, the Columbine shooting, for instance, that happened many decades ago, that got caught in the crossfire of that. It's terrible. But when you grow up and you see how people treat other people so poorly for no reason, you just don't want anything to do with it anymore. And you start to go, you know what? Now I want to read about why the killer did what they did, because obviously they went through hell, and you know that they wouldn't have done that if they weren't being tortured by other people. But the best path to me is to just step away from all of it and to just be like, you know what? Love is all there is. And I am that love. And no matter what you do to me, I will always eternally forever love you, because whether you're a lost soul or you're somebody who hates me for whatever thing I supposedly did to you, I see myself. I see all the darkness I went through. I see all the hatred, all the jealousy, all the rage, all the things I took out on myself that I probably never should have. Sometimes took it out on other people. And in videos that I did, they got caught in the crossfires. The videos I made yelling, I had the right to feel what I was going through, but I had no right. There was some videos I did that seriously hurt a lot of people. And I tried to explain, but I was angry at the time, or I was trying to get control of my anger, and I tried to say, hey, like, I don't mean this towards you. If, basically the glove doesn't fit, don't wear it. And I really meant that. But I had dumped on people that over the years had seriously supported me. They were kind. They were literally lights in a dark place. People like my friend T, that I can't even believe I wasn't saying any of it about him. I mean, and I think he knows that. What's up, T? But I mean, we're talking about me in the past just being less experienced and going about things the wrong way, screaming into my phone. I mean, literally screaming. Obviously, somewhat for good reason, because of the state of things, and that's what a lot of it was about. But that doesn't make it right. And I want to say I'm sorry. Is it like, when you think about it, is it any wonder that certain people came back and they're like, fuck this dude, he's an asshole? It's like, no, I don't blame you. I'm sorry for what I did to you. If you wanted one, I would give you a hug, but I'm not going to do that to you. Sorry. I hope, you're doing well, and I'm sorry for the things like when you tried to be supportive and you thought I was talking about you. I probably wasn't. But I also wanted to see who truly cared. And now I know certain people do. And the rest of the time that I have here, I'm going to live my life for those people, including myself, obviously, because you got to do what you got to do to get by. And I would like to mention their names, but because of all the targeting that's going on and the nasty things that people do to other people, unfortunately, I can't do that. Oh my God. It's almost like we just need one big group hug and like a big celebration that this is over, with all the food that we like and just all the best music, all the stuff that was kept from us in this life. Probably shouldn't say stuff like that. It's hard to explain this to people, because it's like you've already been through the other side, and it like, even that, it's hard to call it the other side, because there's just so many different dimensions and departments of it and worlds, and it gets kind of crazy. So you get to this point where you just want to keep it simple, and you know that everything here is being recorded. You know that if you have experience with the other side, that all intention is known and pretty much manifests instantly. So it's like, where communication is telepathic and also still verbal, you can't just tell somebody something different but be thinking something like completely different towards them. They'll know exactly what you're thinking. And that is a good thing, because if you choose to establish communication, it's like calling somebody on the phone and then picking up the receiver. You're agreeing to have communication, so why would you just start lying to them and treating them like crap for no reason and yada yada yada? I think it's ridiculous. So it should work that way. And when I see people that are doing like all this wrong to people, I'm just looking at them. I would show you my face right now, but I don't want to, because I'm just trying to take a quiet walk. That's how I like things these days. Quiet, calm, serene, tranquil. I don't feel like fighting. Don't want to fight anybody. I don't want any more violence in my life. I don't even feel any anger really anymore. Just complete sadness and heartbrokenness. And I can't believe still to this day, the things that people put each other through, and all you had to do was just say, I'm sorry and I love you, and just give the person a hug and just try to always make it right. That's it. Somebody that I've been... It's cool, the people that you meet when you travel, and it's every once in a while you meet an outstanding individual. One of them by the name of Nick. He reminded me somebody else I knew named Nick, but he sat with this girl at a rest stop she was going through something, and she was homeless, and he basically did not leave her side. I mean, he wasn't like stalking her or anything like that. He was just making sure that she had everything that she needed, and even if she could do nothing for him, and he waited with her and waited with her, and he's probably still with her right now. And it was just like, wow, that moved me. Talked to him numerous times. Really decent guy. Can't say I know him. I don't, but I saw that he did that for another person, and that said a lot about him. And then there's somebody I met by the name of Richard, who's been going to one of the libraries that I go to. Cool thing about being on foot or even traveling in your vehicles, you start going to libraries again a lot more, and it's actually like it's nice. It's quiet. You look at all the books and you're like, how the hell could you just, there's so much. It's like this world is just full of like too much. There's too much. So you just do what you can and sit down, read, whatever, relax. And there was this guy I've been running into, and his he's an older gentleman. His brother's going through something. Really great guy, great to talk to. And he was talking, it was right when I was dealing with the court case, trying to get my cat back. And he just said to me, I literally said this exact thing out loud earlier that day, but he's like, I don't understand why people can't just work things out and come up with a solution that works for both. And I'm like, amen to that. Exactly. Hey, sorry for what happened between us. Sorry I hurt you. Sorry we both got hurt. Let's come up with a solution that works so we each get some of what we want, and then, we don't have to continue talking to each other if you don't want to. And if you need anything, call me. I'll be around. That's it. That's all I intend for the likes of my ex, even after what she did to me. And I'm not condoning that. I think to kidnap somebody's everything is, that's a heartbreak, to say the least. That's something that should never even be allowed. So, whoever you are, I'm sorry that I hurt you. I'm sorry that I wronged you. If you want one and need one, which I think a lot of us do, I hope somebody gives you a hug today. I hope somebody tells you you're beautiful, or that you're handsome, and that they love you. I hope somebody does something really kind for you. A lot of you hard-working men and women out there, I hope you get a shoulder rub or something. I don't know, whatever you need. I think we all have had a very long nightmare, to say the least, that we just need a break from. Like forever. So, I don't know. I'm trying to get a few things tidied up and finished up. I had that as a magic spell in the game I was working on. It was a spell called Tidy Up. And you just wave your magic wand, and I'm sure somebody's put that in something before. It's nothing original. And the whole room is just presto clean. No more having to organize the same shit over and over again. Just tidy up, done. Or maybe, you'd be like Merlin and have to float things around a little bit, make it fun and put on some music, but it just happens way faster, so you don't have to constantly clean every single day. Especially when you're living on the road, whether you're in your vehicle or you're on foot, you pretty much got to do it every day. You got to do a bag check multiple times a day, usually, especially if you're on foot. You got to move things around, reorganize, clean constantly. It's a lot of work, and it's like, man, there's a lot of things I would rather be doing like this right now, just taking a walk, something simple. Starts to wear you down, but you get really good at it. So, and I just don't want to be in pain anymore. I don't. I don't feel that I deserve that. I would like to respectfully leave this life. I'm ready, but I'm trying to, well, to say I'm ready is actually, I'm almost ready. Trying to get a few things done. I had friends, one of them at least offering to come down, and I think they're actually going to come here, and I don't want to let them down in that regard. And I had a job while this was going on, and my truck tires are going. You just feel like you're pressed on all sides. It's the old Christian song I used to listen to in church goes, you know, persecuted, not abandoned. Because that's the truth. We're really not abandoned. And if everybody has left you, you might want to ask, what did you do to them? But then there's also a lot of people that are really not good people. They're just nasty to each other. And when you start to wake up to what they're doing, they scurry. They don't want nothing to do with you when you take your reins back. It's funny, I remember a quick story, because I got nothing to hide anymore. I'd probably tell you anything if you asked. We all have the right to secrets, but it's like, I believe in transparency. And man, I remember years ago, I was losing my hair at a rapid pace. Wasn't a very good person. I wasn't a terrible person, but I mean, I had my own business. Things were working out. But I was going through hair loss, and obviously being the, you know, personal trainer who's always trying to look nice and clean cut, it bothers you, to say the least. But you learn to work through it. There's always engines no matter where you go. I've learned to love those too, even though I despise them, if that makes sense. I've found not even these days you can't go anywhere without having people around. And that I'm not okay with. I'll be honest, I don't like that. Even if I do like certain people, I appreciate my alone time, and I would want that time to otherwise be spent with true friends that I'm sure of. You know what I mean? So when I went through that, it was a tough time, but I was killing it. You know, I thought I was. I making a lot of money, not with the business that I had invested my own money into, but I was making it with crypto. And then I woke up. I started doing a lot more research and really waking up at the height of my quote career. And I'm glad it happened that way, because I didn't wake up when it was too late. I didn't wake up when I was down on my luck. I woke up when I thought I was winning. Kind of winning, you know? And to be honest, some of it I just wanted a bigger platform to be able to, you know, tell people to drop some truth bombs, basically, from my now larger pedestal. And some of them were truth bombs, and then some of them were just, hey, this is like some victim vindictive shit. You know, this guy's, some of it rightfully so, pissed at women for the things that were done to me, the things that I was lied to about, the ways that I was treated, and I wanted to get back at people. I wanted to show them I'm a success now, and look at me, I have a gym, and I'm investing, and I have money, and now you're going to listen to me, because I thought that's what it would take. And then you realize later, after being broken over and over again and becoming a real man completely, becoming a true man. In this case, what I like to call a druid. I wonder if you'll see that in a video game after I leave. A true druid. One who has spent many days walking alone in the forest. You know, a green wizard, so to speak. True to themselves and others always, even if it's uncomfortable. If there's discomfort in what you're saying, you know, it's probably because you're not being very honest about it, because truth is literally just what it is. It doesn't need to constantly be on the defensive, as somebody once said. You see that other people are full of it, and you realize that that's just their own shit that they got to work out, basically flush out. Most people are full of shit. And most people do not love others at all. Or even themselves, really. And you just look at that and you go, this place, and, you know, it's no wonder that it is what it is. In a real world, there's laughter, there's joy, there's beautiful nature. There's no animals getting hurt. And you can talk to animals. I mean, like, come on, like this place, I know that a lot of people, and I'm not mocking you at all, I know that a lot of people haven't had like a true NDE or OBE and haven't been to the other side, because I know that you'd know this stuff. So, in our real bodies, they don't feel like this at all. You're not weighed down, and you don't have to eat constantly. You can eat as much as you want, pretty much whenever you want. But food's way better. Food here makes you feel like crap. It's great while you're eating. And man, I could go for like a huge pizza with my friends and just burgers and fries. Not anything, you know, animal slaying or animal cruel or anything like that. But, you know, you got... I'll refrain. I think a lot of people are going to find out eventually where their food really comes from. And it's not going to be what they think. People believed a lot of lies about that. That's all I'm going to say. But whoever you are, I wish you great love today. It's a little poem. I hope you get what you need. I hope you at least get some of the things you want, unless what you want is to hurt somebody. I hope somebody appreciates you for your art. I hope somebody tells you something great about yourself. I hope somebody holds a door open for you. I hope everyone in your day today treats you with love, kindness, honor, and respect, because that's how we do things back home. You could say that's a bit of a royal decree, and we'll see. I'm sorry for everything that all of you have been through. This place has been really, well, it's been hell, to say the least. It's been hell. I'm sorry for what you're going through. I'm sorry for all the ways that you weren't appreciated. Oh my God, I want to eat so bad. But it's like, I've already decided on exit, so I can do what I want if I want. I don't think a hunger strike is going to ever get my cat back, because my cat is an eternal being. And Artemis Grace is not a real name. And, well, let's just put it this way. Cats, they pounce into our lives. Sometimes they walk. They teach us things we never knew about ourselves. They teach us how to be truly loving beings and how to enjoy the simple things in life. My cat taught me more than probably anybody in this life about being a responsible man. And not only that, but what real love is. And what you'd be willing to go through, even though you don't want to do something at all. And I know that I'll be with her again. Because cat, dog, or human, doesn't matter. Bird, could be whatever. Every creature with a soul is going to make a decision who they want to spend eternity with. And they're going to see exactly what went on, just as we all will. Everything here has been recorded. You can find this information out. You don't have to hear it from me. Believe it, don't believe it, I don't really care. The truth will always be. And one day those in our lives will see the real truth of who we are. And you can either stand in your light or stand in your darkness or somewhere in between. But also on the other side, as far as everything I know right now, we all look exactly as we are. So a really bright shining star who's chosen to be very resilient and strong and courageous is going to look like just that. And a lying snake who's full of hatred and animosity and jealousy towards others and just lies is going to look like exactly what they are, whatever that may be. And that's a sad day when all is brought to light and the people finally see. They see everything they put on you, on me. They smiled thinking they got away with it. And you just start to feel sorry for them. Because you know they don't see. And you know that they're going to. You just wish them love and compassion because you just don't know what else to do anymore. And you hope that they change. Oh my God, one of my favorite pizzas is literally, the irony of this, and if there's anybody from way, way back in the day when I used to go to the Masters Academy, all right, I'm not trying to be a sick fuck, but the name was called Emma's. I can't even say that without laughing. My friend Sean, quick story, had a sister named Emma, and we used to always say Sean's sister because Sean, we used to say that his sister was, well, gorgeous, because she was. And a few other things that high school boys do, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And it was, we all did it to each other. It was, honestly, I would say awful stuff, but it was great stuff because part of the problem is we can't joke around like that anymore because everything's considered politically incorrect. And I'm talking like, you know, me and Sean passing a note back and forth, to which case we got caught. And it was, I'm not even going to repeat it on camera, but neither of us meant it at all. We were just laughing and joking around. It was, oh, I'm going to throw your mother in the trunk of my car. Fucking horrible shit. But it was, again, it was completely a joke. We both knew that. We had that relationship and understanding. And then the teacher picked up the note. It was way worse than I'm saying right now. Way worse. I can't even say it on camera without being like, holy like the shit that we wrote. And I remember her just reading it, and the whole room went silent. And every line that she read, she's just looking up at us like, what the fuck is wrong with these two fucking I get... And him and I are going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This is not good. And then I got suspended and he got let off scot-free. I don't know why to this day. We both wrote it and then I got suspended. So even that became an inside joke. Derek, you're suspended. Derek, you're suspended. I would do one thing, like I would literally, I don't know, drop something on the ground. Oh, Derek is suspended. It literally became like a school joke. And it was honestly funny. I was laughing. And it's not like that anymore. Nobody's funny anymore. Gonna use a word that I'm sure is offensive, but faggy instead of funny these days. It's everybody seems faggy, not funny. Did I mention everybody seems faggy? And I don't want to be in a place like that. So I would like to collect my things. Most of my stuff is organized, give some things to friends, see some friends, say some goodbyes. I would like to eat, oh, the pizza at Emma's. Oh my God, it was so good. My mother, Robin, who was she there for me over and over again, like I'm talking mostly going through some shit over and over again with depression, at least helping with bills and stuff, and she took me out for pizza recently. We don't see eye to eye on many, many things, and some things we do. And she bought me one of the best pizzas I have ever had in my whole life. It was obviously cheese and sauce, but not too much of either, right? And I didn't even get sinus issues after I ate it. And you could say that this pizza was just mint. Green peppers, black olives, and I think onions, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, I already know that would be good. I forget if I had onions put on. I think so. And his lifelong friend of mine who lives down the street actually would say, "Goddamn, motherfucker, you don't even understand. You don't even understand." He would literally say that all the time when a new, I don't know, like Final Fantasy game or like RPG would come out. We grew up having adventures in the woods. We would actually, the place I'm at now was one of them. And we would go back home, we'd draw maps, we'd play our own version of Dungeons and Dragons, which I still create. I still love all that stuff to this day. And I can't, knowing that it literally takes decades upon decades upon decades just to create one little game, I have to wonder where are all these huge sandbox games coming from? It's almost like it's all a scam. Probably shouldn't say that. I'm gonna go to a spot. I'm kind of doing some retracing, but anyway, me and this friend of mine just saw him last week. Talked to him the other day. He literally called me, tell me about the game, and I'd be like, "Oh, really?" And I'd start saying something about it. He'd be like, "No, no, 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 Derek." He'd be like, "You don't even understand. You don't even understand. You don't even know." And then he would tell me more about it. And I realized over the last few years, after like literally breaking up with this life completely and being like, this is it. I'm going home. I'm fine with it. I just wanted to see if there was more that I could do. And I lived also for a while to see two cats, and that was Guilford and Artemis Grace. Guilford's the exact opposite of her. He's like a black cat ninja, aggressive. He's calmed down a little bit. Got some really good hits. He's strong. And he really likes to fight. He can also get doors open like no cat I've ever seen. Ever. Not even close. And so those two kept me going for a long time when I had practically nobody except like friends I could talk to online, and that's not really having a friendship in my opinion. It sort of is, but it's like kind of like being in jail and, you know, being able to call somebody else who's in jail and being like, "Hey," you know, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Hanging, I'm online." "Oh, cool, me too." And that's it. Kind of a shitty analogy, but it just feels like that these days, you know? Your cell phone. That's why you got a cell number. And the days where we used to go out, create our own adventures, take walks, get into some trouble, go get some pizza, ride bikes, were way better than this, and they cost far less. And we were way healthier and way happier. So how could this ever be called, well, it is being an adult, as people say, an adult. As it is dull, it is lame, it is stuck up, it's boring, it's retarded. How could anyone ever qualify this as even a modicum of intelligence to say that, hey, this is the way it should be? Yeah, we go to work every day. Hey, what do you do Tuesday? Oh, I go to work. Hey, what about Wednesday? I go to work. Thursday, go to work. What do you do? Well, I run a factory that processes cardboard. And so I go in and I hit the green button to start the conveyor belt. And then I move over to the middle section, and then I hit a couple more white buttons. And then I move down the end to make sure all the workers are doing their jobs. Oh, how are the workers doing? Do they love their jobs? Are they happy? Would they do it without pay? No, but the company has good benefits, and I'm an NPC. That's the short version. There's more I'd like to say, but I don't want to get into that crap because it just puts me in a bad mood. I don't want to be in a bad mood. It could never, ever, ever be a good blueprint for the rest of eternity. That's the problem. We got people, most people on this earth, whatever it is, who don't know a damn thing about eternity. And others who have truly forgotten. So I'll post hopefully this video and the one from yesterday. And, you know, if anybody wants to say goodbye and help me finish up a couple things, donate some artwork to something I'm going to try to get published when I'm gone. It's my choice to leave when I decide I'm ready to go. I want a nice, peaceful exit. Want to see some friends before I go. Give them some love. And, maybe do something fun. But I'm not doing this, and I don't care what people think. Oh, hey, you know, what a pussy, he fagged out. Well, you try being homeless on foot, carrying your gear, and living out of your truck, and having pretty much nobody near you. I should have just said near, because that would have been like a rhyme. Used to be a damn good rapper, by the way. I shouldn't have said that. That's for later. So, heck. What was I saying? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go to a, see if I can get there, because we used to hang out on this hill. I'm making out with one of my girlfriends here. We weren't supposed to be together, but she was a cool person. I actually genuinely, what I really liked thinking back is the people that I met and actually just talking to them. And yeah, obviously there's like time for all that stuff, which I'm not going to get into because you can't even say that these days, even though it's part of life. And yeah, we had some great times. She was cool. I actually used to really enjoy her company. We used to go roller skating. And especially the girl that I dated before that, whose name was Sarah. And there's a lot of people named Sarah, so I don't want to like embarrass her by saying her full name. But we used to go ice skating all the time. She dealt with some serious issues because of her family and people that were mean to her. And it was just body image issues. She had, at one point, she got so skinny that it was like there was nothing to her. And I would just think, I'm thinking like, how the hell can anyone think that this is right? Like, this is what hurting people does to them. This is what saying hurtful things does to people. And they think that they got to do that to be somebody, and it's just so fucked up. It's unbelievably fucked up. And I still thought she was beautiful. Obviously, that's not what I'm into, because I'm into the, well, these days, not really into anybody at all. Although there have been some attractive women that I've come into contact with since being homeless, and it was because of the things that they did. And yes, they're physically attractive, but it was the way that they treated me that said everything about them. I used to love going into places. The whole time I was, by the way, when I had Artemis and I was accused of not having a job, I was doing DoorDash practically every day. That's a job. Deal with it. I know people want to make good men look bad. I was doing what I had to do, okay? Anyway. Problem is DoorDash drivers can't really get by enough because we have to use our own vehicles, and I have a truck, unfortunately. It has everything that I own practically in it. So you tend to waste a lot of gas, and there's unfortunately vehicle damage, and DoorDash doesn't pay for that. So, where the hell was I going? Is this really, this isn't the spot. There's a big hill that, I don't know. I guess I'll have to go find it. I'm gonna go through here. But yeah, looking back, it was who people were, the people that you dated. That was the really fun part. It was who they were and getting to know them, laughing, joking around, talking to them. Obviously, I don't even know if we can say this word anymore, sex. No, you still can. But I didn't really want anything to do with that because I knew that something wasn't right. I enjoyed things like holding hands and other things, and I wanted to do all of that for a while before In fact, when I was a young teenager, I just thought that it was like, why is everybody just rushing into sex with people? Like, this is not a good idea. Like, holy shit. And I didn't understand why other people didn't see that. So I kind of got pressured into it, but I still did certain things that I'm not proud of. And obviously you get a little bit older and then you really want to do certain things, and you forgive yourself because you realize that you didn't exactly know what you were doing. You would be completely different with everything that you know now, completely different, to the point where who you are now is unrecognizable. And it's over. And you see what marriage did to a lot of people. You see what sex did to a lot of people. You see what having kids did to the world. Just people littering kids everywhere. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's not right, because more does not equal better. It's supposed to be quality over quantity. And a lot of children end up going through serious trauma later on in life, especially, and in childhood. And then they start going, why did my parents do this to me? Why am I here? And I don't even want to get into that in today's video, because that is some seriously dark, depressing shit, to say the least. And I don't blame them. So instead of swearing at them and yelling and doing this and that and doing all the things that people sometimes refuse to see are actually coming out of the mouth of a good man who truly cares about other people and has feelings for other people and doesn't want to see anyone suffer, and they just can't see that, and they think that that's evil because that you're telling them what they're doing is wrong, because it is. Creation of life is a serious matter, and that should only ever be done with consent of the individual being created. Meaning, if things don't work out, they can choose annihilation. Which, why a good God who is loving would ever let anybody go to hell forever is beyond me. Why not just destroy them and have them be reborn into the light, a fire and water baptism? That's how I would do it. And then see who they turn out to be. And if that one doesn't work, all right, well, we'll try again. And then if that being really decides that they no longer want to exist, well, we'll leave that up to them, because that's the kind and respectful thing to do, and that's the correct way to do it. Why send anybody to hell? Nobody should ever go to hell. Not even the worst. Because if they learn and they finally see in all of their own darkness, they realize it's all their own and their nightmare, and all the things that they thought, and they wake up while they're in there, well, that's not fair, because they could have turned into one of the greatest souls that ever existed, and now they're in hell forever because somebody passed judgment on them. You don't do that. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what people did to them that made them the way that they are. If they're a person who's always full of hate, according to you, well, maybe, I'm not saying to put up with it, okay? You guys already know I don't put up with it. I'm not going to let myself be abused. Just shut the door. And maybe watch them from afar. And if they change and they're actually sorry, well, maybe give them another chance, but keep your distance. See what they do when they don't know you're watching. And from what I've seen, there's a lot of really bad people here in this world. So it's like, I have to wonder, like, as far as I know, some of us are here to try to help people get out of this place. Sort of like how people have prison ministries and things like that, and they go visit people in jail and talk to them, and they have to be in the jail and obey the rules for a while, and so on and so forth. And it's like, you know what? Sure, I think there's some aspect to it there, but a lot of us really had a lot of work to do. And it was I'm not justifying the awful things that happen in this world. They happen to good people all the time who don't deserve it. But maybe it's like last one out's a rotten egg. We know if you love this place and you want to stay here, well, then you belong here. Have at it. See you later. I don't know. Let's take a look at the lake. I sat here and cried yesterday like a little pussy. Yep. And as soon as I started doing that and saying certain things just to myself, no phone, no nothing, I saw all these little birds that I've been seeing lately. Beautiful little tiny birds just go do like a dance, and they were doing this dance in the wind in front of me, and going down and dipping on the water and then flying back up, and like basically it was beautiful. Sometimes you need to yell, sometimes you need to hit stuff, and then sometimes you need to just sob. And a lot of it is because of the state of the world. It's just, wow, it really just should not be this way. Ever. Ever. And all I can ever do is just say, you know what, I just want nothing to do with this. Because this isn't me and I don't belong here, and I don't want to expect anything out of anybody. I know who I am. And I know we all have a real name that existed beyond all names that we've ever had. You forget yourself for a long time. And eternity is a very long time. Somebody once said to me. We were asking that person, how long do we wait for somebody to, come back to the light, so to speak? And he said, a moment less than eternity. Something like that, right? Maybe one day they'll all see. Maybe they won't. Do some people some good to go pick up a cardboard sign and see what the homeless have to go through. See how you're treated by a lot of people who are just very cold and unkind. Especially if you know you got some money and you're otherwise okay. You could at least, maybe see what they go through. But you got to kind of play that role for a while to see what it's like. And it will break your heart. And you'll see that a lot of people are very lost. And you'll see that they don't see. And you just won't want to be here anymore. And you'll realize that no good person would be here anymore after a long enough time. And you'll make peace with it. I'm saying this to me because that's how it was for me. You can feel free to do something different. I don't care what you do. But whoever you are, I care about you even if you hate me. And I wish you the best that eternity has to offer. I hope you get what you need. I hope you're loved. I hope you're supported. I hope you're helped, if that's what you need. And what I need is a big pizza and some fries and stuff like that with a table full of real friends. And some tabletop role-playing games. That's what I need. Am I going to get it? Yeah, if I want to go self-exit right now and go home, I can have that right away. I was hoping maybe we'd be able to do it here. But I'm not going to bet on that. I know there's some artists that have spoken to me over the years. You did really good stuff. I would like you to get credit for that someday. And the important thing is true friendship, though. It's not how good you are, what you do, because the right person who cares about truth will develop themselves. And I wanted to make a game that involved all my friends, not just me. That's what I wanted. Something way better than this. So anybody who would like to meet, trying to hang on for another friend who's coming here. I don't really believe anything these days until the person's actually, does exactly what they say. My truck needs new front tires. I'm not asking a damn thing. Don't give if you don't want to. I know if I had it, I would give to you every time, and that's enough for me. It's who I always was. I remember writing something not too long ago. Just more detachment process stuff is one of the last things I wrote on the page, I believe. And this notebook was taken, I think, from my campsite with a bunch of my clothes and a wooden dagger that I had made. Beautiful wooden dagger. I was a little peeved about that for a while. One of the main things that I wanted back from that bag was a notebook. I don't know if this writing was in it though. There was song lyrics, a song called No Reason that I wrote. And what was it? It was that perhaps we leave this world as the person that we've always been. And what the writing was about is that we go through all these transformational stages where we try this suit on and that suit on, and they just, none of them really fit quite right. They seem like they do for a while. And you're like, you really believe that you're the person that you are at the time, and then looking back, you can't believe you ever believed that that's what you were. And I went through a lot of those stages. You identify with them. And I personally think that our eternal journey, or as somebody like George would say, our universal journey. That'd be, you know what, I'm not going to say the last name just in case the video gets flagged. You know, you end up as a sum total of everything that you've ever seen, done, and been. We'll see. I think it's like that. And you might fall really, really far, and you have to be that, like, dark sorcerer, that dark lord for a while. You remember the whole thing when people were calling Chris Sedaris the Dark Lord? So he just kind of took it and owned it. That's what I did with the whole Lil D thing. I'm like, all right, if I tried to do an MMA fight several times, by the way, and both times I was prevented. Literally training for it, ready to go, and prevented each time. And now recently, after I just did a bunch of training on the road with my backpack and trained harder than anybody I know, told my instructor I'm still prepping, I'm probably going to do the fight. And he said there were no fights coming up. And I'm like, all right. So it is what it is. It's not up to me. I wanted to win for his school and for me. I was only doing it at this point to just hopefully get a little publicity to get Artemis back. See if it would help, but it probably wouldn't. I think I would have won big time. Very quickly. I would just get in the ring at this point and just tell this guy, like, if I knew that they can't really hurt me that bad, I would just be like, listen, I don't want to embarrass you, and I'm going to, like, literally knock you out so fast, and I don't want to do that to you in front of your friends and family. Basically, let's give them a good show and then just give up, or I'll, you know, just stay down or something. I don't know. It's kind of mean. Either way, I really don't like fighting anymore. Kind of want nothing to do with it. And that's if that happened. That's if, you know, you get hit by somebody a few times. I got to take a few punches before I can actually fight for real. Like, I got to get into it. I got to get hit. And you sort of start to learn to like the pain. Unless it's too much to bear. Kind of like this life. And a true monk can take that pain and generate it into electronic force, you could say, or electric force, energy force, ki. So it's like you get hit a little bit, you can actually start hitting harder and faster after you get beat up a little, from what I've seen. What the heck was that about the Oh, so something happened with all that. I was trained and ready for it. Best shape of my life. And like the last fight I signed up for when I was in West Virginia, conveniently, my whole right shoulder went out. There was like no explanation for it. I couldn't even hardly throw a punch on my right side without serious pain. And then something happened and I had to leave the state. We had a falling out, me and somebody that I still care about to this day. I hope he's doing really well. And You know, there's people that they're looking to throw that in somebody's face. Oh, see, Derek's a liar. Oh, he said he was going to do the fight. But that, it's like, you don't know what's going on in a person's life. And I'm telling you right now, one day all will be seen exactly as it is. And you'll see that that's the exact truth. Plus, I just told you the truth. And I think I'm going to call the hunger strike off entirely because haven't eaten today and I'm very hungry and I would like food, but that's not even why. It's part of the reason. But I don't think it will do any good because I know that if it already didn't, in this individual, I'll just say K, doesn't see that I am a very kind, broken-hearted man who's going through a lot and literally exiting this world because of this eventually, then that tells me that I'll just say that she has serious issues, and I'll leave it at that. I don't think anything could convince somebody. I'm going to choose to believe my immediate family who said they've done everything they can to get the cat back. I didn't see what went on when I wasn't there. So, thank you for the help. I don't like to embarrass people, and I don't like to accuse people. I like to know the truth. Even when I kind of know that somebody's doing me wrong. Like somebody who stole thousands of dollars from me, who actually recently reached out was saying justice for Artemis Grace. They actually reached out and said, more than most people did. They knew what I was going through and didn't offer to help, but I mean, it was like, oh, hey, thank you. They stole several $1,000s from me. And I was told, don't give them any more money, but they had a family and they had kids. And this was years ago. And after a while, I kind of knew that they were playing a game. But I'm like, all right, let's see how far they go with this. I'm like, I got the money to spare for right now, so I was giving them more and giving them more when they needed it. And I found out that this is just what they do. So I said, okay. And I was told, don't give them any more. They're a scam artist, yada, yada, yada. Okay, you're probably right, but I want to know the exact truth. So I did a little experiment to find out, and I found out that that's exactly what they were doing. The full-blown reason for that, I don't know. But I learned the truth. And that's what I wanted. Because I wish they realized that what I really wanted with them was just friendship. Wasn't money. Just friendship. So I actually had a really great time with them. Somebody that wasn't afraid to get in fights and stuff, and in my opinion, a little too violent. But they'll learn. And actually wanted to go take a walk and, go do things that guys do. Fix some cars, learn about some stuff, talk. Sit down, have a beer. It's actually an experience I'll never forget. I had to pay for it. It was in Tennessee, and I had some great days with him. Either way, I'm thankful for it, and I wish him the best. Call him Jay, so you could say JK. Maybe there's a reason for it, and it needed to happen that way. But I'm going to get going. I got to get back to the library. I would like to have some food, so I think I'm just going to... It's just like this whole thing is like, why? If somebody doesn't see what you were willing to go through, already homeless, some people could benefit from fasting quite a bit more, and I've already fasted enough. I'm already skinny enough. I hate being skinny. I would be way bigger than this, and spoiler alert, on the other side, that is the case. I like being a bit hefty. Makes me feel good. Tall, not so much. It's not my thing. I don't really want to be tall. I just don't want to be like a shrimp. Oh, that was what I was going to say. Lil D. I really like that, and thank you to those who were saying that, because I was actually going to use that as my MMA name, Lil D. Sounds like a rapper name, doesn't it? Yo, it's Lil D coming at you with another album from the forest. Got my hat all tipped to the side. Believe it or not, in my opinion, I can actually pull off the yo-yo-yo look if I really try. Sometimes, maybe I do. But how would you know unless you knew what I really do? So, everybody, in case this is the last video, because you never know, as me and my faggot cousin used to say, you're gay. We would remind each other of that every day. So, see you later.